I don't believe that it's profitable for people to get clean. I don't believe it's profitable. I don't believe it's for the same way that someone who needs insulin, and it does not cost much to make insulin, what they're paying for it. We're all hooked on something. And I would say the last part of why I came up with that title is because I don't know how you're supposed to participate in this realm and what's going on, what they want you to do, what they expect you to do, and what you are relegated to, which is essentially a bank account, without filling your head full of substances. It's very hard. I know some really, and it's to the point where I know even smart, sober people who are doctors, physical therapists, clinical therapists, psychologists are suffering. They're having panic attacks. I talk to them and they can't help either because they're getting screwed over left and right by these people. I think the healthcare system is kind of a murder for profit business. And that's why I came up with that. All the way from drugs, legal and illegal, sugar, to gateway principles, to kids' drinks, to fucking pushing alcohol on everybody.
So would it be a problem if it never existed? Would the problem of mental and stuff still be a problem if these things never existed? Because if not, then there you go, get rid of everything. We gotta figure out how to get rid of everything. As long as it exists, I feel like humans are gonna find a substitute, and not most of the time, but in a lot of times they find something at a crucial moment. Like I know a guy that was going to school for law. At your bar, you're not supposed to have your phone. Um, he begged and begged because his wife was supposed to have their child during the time he was doing the bar. Professor agreed. He wished he never did. He got a phone call. The child didn't make it. Um, the professor allowed him to reschedule it. He went over his uncle's house just to smoke a blunt and to tell his uncle about it. His uncle put something in it without telling him. He's smoking, realizing he's getting higher than he should. Uncle like, yeah, I put such and such in there. The H word, I put H in there, and of course, he cussed his uncle out and stuff. But days and days and days, he's trying to smoke a L, just to get right. And he wished his uncle never told him what was in there because now he know the marijuana wasn't working or whatever, and now he's an addict or whatever. It was that crucial moment. Like if it was any other time, he probably would have realized hearing the crackling or whatever it does or whatever. It would have been something would have triggered like, whoa, what is this? But because he was in that crucial moment, he just wanted to be dead to the world that he didn't even notice none of the signs that was probably going on while it was burning or anything.
Hold
So
on,
I
SPF.
feel like
I got to
these
recount.
things.
Come back in. Someone called me during my podcast, and I couldn't hear the end of what you said.
Okay.
I think if it didn't exist, would it matter? I think that life is so hard, so people are constantly trying to fill a void. They're
But if
constantly trying.
everything would have, if we would have kept everything natural, not concentrated,
Yes.
like the I don't want to say nothing to get blocked or whatever, but that leaf they take to extract, and that's pretty popular around the world or whatnot. At one point in time, it was just a leaf that they chewed on that was kind of like coffee or whatever. And then somebody came up with the idea. I'm pretty sure a scientist not from that area came up with the idea that, oh, you can concentrate this and it'll be crazy strong, or whatever. Like pretty much all of them that's concentrated or whatever. I don't know what over there in Afghanistan, the plant that you can get over there. I don't know what that would do if you kept it in its natural form. But I do know you remember when Burger King used to put them on their burgers.
Yeah.
I tested
Yeah.
positive one time. I tested positive one time at for a job, but it was so low. The first thing she asked me, she said, "Do you eat Burger King?" I was like, "I literally work at Burger King right now." And she just laughed. She was like, "All right." She was like, "It was so low. We know it wasn't, you taking anything or whatever, but it has poppy." That was when Burger King had poppy seeds on
Mm-hmm.
them. Yeah, so you know, well, people didn't know why they was going crazy over Coca-Cola back then. They had a secret addiction.
Yep.
So
And that's what hooked for a profit is that they're trying to get you hooked on the fast foods. They're trying to get you hooked on the cigarettes, the coffee, the caffeine, anything, anything. I watched this one judge that would he wore glasses. He's on TikTok a lot and on reels and stuff, and he's really thin. He's an older judge, and he was talking about this young man telling him that because he was black outside walking, that he's better be careful, and that they had no right searching him. I don't know if I just said that once so you know who it is I'm talking about. Have you seen the reel?
sorry about that. No, I haven't.
Okay. So this judge is really an advocate for the youth and stuff like that, and really wants to give people a second chance. And he's not about pushing a narrative onto somebody because of what they look like. So he told this man, he was like, listen, you already have a hard time out here in these streets. I don't care what happened to you. Do not take that oxycodone that your doctor is prescribing you. Those Percocets, none of that. Do not take them, because there could be one time you taking it and all of a sudden you are hooked to it. One time, it takes one time, and all of a sudden your body will either have an adverse reaction for it and could put you in a coma, or you could be addicted to it and need it, and then feel like you have to do everything, and there goes your whole life down the drain. He's like, so I'm telling you right now, please don't take that medication.
Or you can be like me. You can be so high tolerant to it that you don't even know that you're killing yourself in the inside. See, when I lived in Georgia, the LEAN was very cheap down there, and that was a thing we did daily. And I would be wide awake while everybody is passed out, and I'm like, dang, why do y'all do this or whatever? Like, this is boring. Well, and then one day I just decided to read the bottle, and I was like, yo, at least y'all know that y'all getting there. I'm not. I'm over here drinking double and triple the amount y'all are, and still not getting there. Well, so I just quit because it was like literally no purpose for me. But there's some people out there that will fake the funk and will keep drinking it just so they can look like the in crowd. And because they have a high tolerance, they're doing entirely too much. And now they like these rappers, um, looking extra sick and stuff.
So,
Man, I wish I had
tolerance was so high, it was scary.
so Moon Horse is back now. He can hear the end of your story. He didn't get to hear what happened to that guy.
I got
please.
ADHD. What was I talking about?
Talking about the guy that
talking
did
about-
the law. He was at the thing doing his he went to take his exam to be a lawyer, and that's when his wife.
Oh, where did I leave off at? Where did
You-
you? What was the last thing you heard?
He was getting ready to take his exams.
Oh, wow. Okay. He was
And-
getting ready to take his exam, and the professor allowed him to keep his phone. He asked the professor, my child's supposed to be born while this bar is going on. And the professor allowed him. He get a phone call. The child didn't make it. He goes over his of course they let him leave. He reschedule his bar. He goes over his uncle's house to smoke marijuana. So his uncle put some H in there without telling him. And the only thing that I could think is because I was asking questions like, you didn't smell the difference, or there wasn't a different sound in it or something when you was inhaling or something. Like, I don't know, but I'm asking him what, and he all he can remember is that he was trying to smoke the pain away. And then he realized later that, whoa, I'm higher than I should be. And that's when his uncle told him, and of course he spazzed on his uncle and left. But he kept buying marijuana and kept buying marijuana, and he wasn't getting that high that he felt. So he eventually went straight to that. And now of course, he's no longer a lawyer, and I'm talking about he's one of the smartest people I know. But he know that's over. Well, on his route, on his path, on his journey that he's taking as of right now, that's over for him. Well, so a lot of times, and I know several other people's stories. That was just the one on the top of my head. The crucial moments, and then they try something rather on purpose or by accident. That's usually when they get hooked, and because it helped them through that crucial point. Like a lot, I think I feel you might be different. You might know different on Henry or whatever But I feel like it's more people that get hooked off of crucial points versus party goers.
Right.
Because that
I'm actually
crucial
inclined
point,
to agree with
you what?
I am inclined to agree with you. I think there are certain variables. I think everything has a certain amount of variables. Something I think that might be able to really help kids. I don't know how things are now because I'm in my 30s, but when I was a kid, it was always a competition, and not just with males, but a lot with males about I could drink you under the table, I can drink more than you. I think there's certain stereotypes that get pushed, and not just stereotypes, but messages that get pushed in impressionable children. And I grew up with that, and it was a really kind of a big thing between the friends, at least the friend group that I hung out with, is that we could drink more than each other, and this carried on way until adults I watched throwing beer cans out of windows. How can we curb something like that? I think we can. I think there's measures we can take.
When you are trying to
And
fulfill when you're trying to numb and mask a feeling, a loss, a grief, you'll take anything. And if you've seen somebody that almost OD'd and almost like barely made it from, that's the stuff you want. That's the stuff you're going to try to get, because it's going to give you to that point that you're searching from to numb and mask the pain of reality.
No, this is true. I do believe that a lot of these addictions, addictive things, they're genetic. I want to believe this. I've seen enough circumstantial evidence, but I also think they can be made. I think it can be pushed and picked up. I've seen it happen before. I think curbing a lot of this stuff at a young age, which doesn't seem to be happening, it was most certainly not happening around me, is the first step in trying to stop addiction, obviously. I mean, if I could cut hairs and say we need to tear down golf courses, infiltrate dead buildings, and put up centers to help people, show that there's actually compassion left in the world and you're not just a number, you're not just a court case, I think that's important too. But I believe we've dehumanized a lot of things in society as a whole.
Bro, I sadly gotta thank you for reminding me how rare that the family I hated growing up was really precious, because we was restricted from a lot of stuff. Like my dad would empty his Hennessy bottle and put Coca-Cola in there and go hang out, and wouldn't let nobody drink from the bottle. My cousin, I mean, not my cousin, my uncle would empty, like buy a beer can, empty the beer can and pour water in it, and we'll go to outside court and go play ball. Like they didn't drink. I only saw my mama get drunk once, and she woke up in the morning and apologized about it. Like, we thought it was funny that mama, thought it's cool that mama kind of finally let loose, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm embarrassed. You'll never see that ever happen again." Like, so because of that stuff, like, "Oh, I drink you under the table," my answer was, "You're right." or whatever, you know, like I was a designated driver. I got tired of being friends with these guys or whatever, because I like soon as we got to the club, whoever drove threw me their keys. Well, because they know I was drinking a beer and a shot at the most. Like, whatever, you know, because I was like, we got to make it back home. Well, somebody got to think with their head straight or whatever. So even though I hated the strictness and stuff, you know, thank you for reminding me that it was for a reason. You know,
Yeah.
even my biological father, who I don't even get along with, that guy didn't drink or smoke or none of that or whatever. When people see him, they think we're brothers. He looks that young, or whatever, you know. So
That's
sadly, thank you for
yeah.
showing me that.
You know, and
It's
it's
lucky to have
innocent.
a family.
Sometimes it's
Go ahead,
innocent
Badger.
things. Sometimes it's innocent things too. Sometimes we get addicted to the innocent things and you don't think it's really killing you. I was born with arthritis, and the only thing that would help me was ibuprofen. And I took so much, and I couldn't take the regular ibuprofen. I had to get the heavy duty 800s. And
Oh yeah.
and it started eating at my stomach liner, and I didn't realize it was slowly killing me from the inside also, because that's the only thing that took the edge off the arthritis. Once I got older and I stayed away from that and realized that I didn't need that, I don't even smoke every day. I can go a few days and not smoke and still be okay, because I had to change a lot though. I'm still sore, but nothing like I was when I was taking the pills. Now I'm able to just change my diet and eliminate things and stretch more, and I don't get as headaches as like I used to, except for lately because of the menopause. But yet I don't go to the doctors. I won't go to the doctors, and I don't take things that were given to me by anybody, let alone a doctor, because I know I worked in the medical field for over almost 20 years. I know why. I know what they're doing. I know what their number one agenda is. I
Oh
mean,
boy.
it's insane that everything's wrapped around dollar signs. You go
I'll
to
go, but I don't take what they give me. I mean, I don't rarely. I can't remember the last time I went to a drugstore to fill out whatever they gave me or whatever. I go listen to what they said, and I immediately go find the natural the natural way to deal with it.
Yep, me too. Me too. And like you said, there was a lot of things. The intent of it wasn't for what it was. Back in the day, they used the coke plant for numbing teeth. That's what dentists
We still
used
have
it for.
xylocaine. We still have cocaine derivatives. Actually, a lot of the pills we have are derivative based.
I know, but they're derivatives now. This was before the pills came out. This was at the beginning. It was
Oh
a
yeah.
small dose. All you do is put it for teething and stuff like that. They weren't looking at it as a drug, as a profit. The biggest
No
profit
cocaine.
ones, yeah, the biggest profit ones were the ones that the government used. And I don't care. I'm gonna say it. That's the biggest ones back in the day were the government ones, because that's how they got everybody to go to war. And that's how they got the trade of the weapons, is through the drugs.
My God, Badger, you are pushing this where I wanted to push it faster than I actually was trying to calmly push it. I do want to ask Gilly what she thinks of the title because she's hopped on. And hi, Gilly. It's good to see you. But I can't hear you.
Gil, can you hear us, Gil? Her mic's not muted.
Oh dear. Yeah. Holy shit, your family's missed you, you know. That's a big thing too. Family is going to be a big aspect of this. So I'm glad that SGF we went into family aspects of it too. While we're waiting for Gilly. I actually heard South Park put pot the best way. It's supposed to be this big dangerous drug. And Randy Marsh looks at Stan and goes, you know, pot, Stan, it's not dangerous to you. And it certainly can't really hurt you, but it can make being fun lazy fun. And and that's what makes it a bad thing. And I heard that was like the best damn description I ever heard from this too. You can really fall into patterns with just about anything. And
There she
then it can
comes.
become a detriment.
Can you hear us, Gail? Gilly, they don't want you to speak because your mic's not muted, honey.
Jeez Louise.
I don't know.
Well,
She left and came back. I don't
we
know
can
what's
wait.
going on.
I've been having bad service today. Actually, yeah, go ahead, Badgie.
So I was going to say, where are you and what happened and why are you where you were at?
All right, we're going to get into this. Let me use some drugs. I'm going to use some drugs. Cigarettes are drugs. Faulty, I know, but I have been falling into cigarettes rather hard. We're allowed to fall apart sometimes on vocal. I am in an undisclosed location. For the last week and a half, I have been, actually for the last year, I've been dealing with a family who's had a son who's got a drug problem, a very bad drug problem. And said son has been in and out of the system, got out of the system, and immediately fell back into drugs, presumably because he was doing drugs in the system. And it's gotten to the point where it's so bad that they had me come over while my friend was working. He works out of town. He's gone. Well, the son has been breaking into the house over and over again and stealing, and because caused thousands of dollars in damage. And because meth is such a delusional causing, it causes such delusions. Everything you can think of, like outlets filled with concrete, ductwork covered up to stop the cameras and stuff, and new construction is just destroyed. But his family's reeling from this. They don't know what's going on. They don't have any experience with drugs. Another thing, it's just kind of out of nowhere, this family member got really addicted. So what happened is I got the whole week through waiting for him, presumably to either try and help him or get him off the streets, because that's the only options we have left. And the house was broken and entered while I was here. Some threats were made against my life. I gave him the old Bugs Bunny because I weighed these pros and cons of the situation of how dangerous it actually was, and I gave him the Bugs Bunny. I slipped, and he ended up getting incarcerated. Now he is facing right out of prison. He is facing another 20 years. They threw the book at him, and they are leaving it on the parents to basically decide whether to drop the charges or not. If they want you can have your son, but he's going to be on drugs, and he's going to fall right back into the same routines. And people can check themselves out of rehabs left and right, and that's what has been happening. And you gotta want to go, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare situation. So, even after a bunch of death threats, what I do is I work with addicts and alcoholics, and I work with their families, and it's painful and hard. So, I'm still going to try and help. I'm going to do everything I can to try and see what can be done. But there comes a point where you have to weigh the pros and cons. Am I going to send my son away for 20 years? Families have to deal with this. And it was violent. It was terrifying. It was thankless. For now, his family really appreciates it, which is beautiful. But it's thankless in the fact that why is it just me trying to help these people? What the fuck is going on here? We need community support for drug addicts and families. It's nuts. It's just nuts. So I understand this line of work I take, and it's very hard, and I'm very good at dealing with it. But there's no way in hell it just doesn't weigh heavy on you. I've cried my eyes out after this event and what he'd been going through. Not because I feel sorry for him. It mirrors my own self. I'm going to cut this short because I've been actually rambling on too long, but that's what I've been doing.
Not
here
really.
waiting it out.
You're finally talking, and that's great. Kendall sent me a picture, and she said, and there's like 7 cop cars around this light post, and said, look at this young lady. She's on something, climbed up on the top of a light post, and they're trying to get her down. People see it an addict when they look at something like that. They don't see that that's somebody's daughter, son, mother, sister. That's somebody's something. At one time, that was somebody's something. The addicted version, the version that is hooked to whatever they use to numb the pain, to mask, that is not their person no more. Their person's trapped inside, and 9 times out of 10 wants help and wants to get better. Their person really does want to feel again, no matter what it may be. They really do want to feel again. And they allowed that false sense to overtake their ability to control, their ability to stop it. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up.
Do you remember this?
Huh? No, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead. I was going to
Every
say,
day.
Badger, do you remember the substance? Oops.
You did it again. Do I remember what?
Do you remember The Substance, that film, that horror movie that came out recently,
Yes.
where she takes this to become a new person? That movie made me cry. It scared me. It fucked me up. And people are like, it wasn't scary. It was the line, what's borrowed cannot be returned. So when she's taking from her unconscious body and she wakes up more disfigured and disgusted the whole time, you can't be returned. When you wake up after 20 years of addiction, do you know how fucking angry you are at the world? If you even get that chance, it's scary because they're trying to stop these people from killing themselves, but they don't realize that you can't get a lot back. Actually, you can't get back time, especially.
Have you seen it, SGF? Have you seen The Substance? SGF?
And I've seen what?
The Substance. It's called Substance.
I know what you're saying. Was that a movie?
Yes.
It was a recent film starring Demi Moore. Quite good.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. I don't know actors, nothing like that. I just know their characters, but I haven't heard of that one.
Okay, it's interesting.
I don't really watch TV, and I swear, as soon as I see a commercial, I'm hitting the X button, trying to skip it as fast as possible. I turn off the commercial as quick as possible. I miss everything.
I am with you on that.
I don't watch a lot of TV neither, but they put that on. They put that on, and I watched it, and it was the subject about it. I didn't really care for the movie. I didn't think the movie was as intense as others. It was kind of corny. It got kind of corny to me. Certain parts corny, like they went too far. It was not, and I get it, but I don't watch TV because I think it's draining. It's not worth it. I might as well dumb myself down, listen to gossip. But at the end of the day, the fact is though, the meaning behind the movie, what they were trying to do, because she was like an 80s workout person, and she was getting taken by the 2020s, and a younger person, a younger body, nicer, still in shape, was going to take over her life and take her spot. And she wanted her spot back. So the only way that she could get her spot back is by taking this substance. And it was from the bone marrow. And she would have to take it cloned her, a younger version of her. And they would have to switch off and on every so many days. And they had to do it within that. And you couldn't get too attached to your other life, because it wasn't your other life. Your main life was still the old person. And if you misused it, it took from you. It took away age from you and body parts, and you slowly were deteriorating yourself, because you can't have one without the other. You gotta have an equal balance of both. So you can't have a split personality without treating that split personality as if it was part of you, basically. Gilly, are
It's
you
got a
back?
lot to say. Yay.
No. Still an
No.
issue with the microphone.
I'd like to go on record and say, just so I don't sound like the only dumb, I'm a dumb bimbo, it's okay. But I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch some old comfort shows with myself. I do have to catch critically acclaimed movies because film was a big escape for me when I was living in an alcoholic, violent household. And I never quite lost the fact that I could escape into a world and truly be happy and not worry about where I'm sitting in life. So film holds a very special place in my heart. And I do try to catch the ones that interest me. And I like Jersey Shore. No, Mike, the situation. I don't.
You know what they do though. They want to entertain us and keep us entertained so that we don't realize really what's going on. And we can't complain much about what we're allowing or accepting because we're caught up in this this entertainment ideal. We don't focus on the main thing because we're appeased by what they're giving us to cover it. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does. It does. I'm still trying to not potato salad everybody. I can't say what I want on social media. This is not the place where I'm going to help people. Sadly, it seems. But I try.
I use it for networking only. We can't make a difference here. We can actually reach people to make the difference, but we can't make the difference here. And so many people that do get paid by social media, they're serious with it. They're so serious with it. If you don't like their stuff, if you don't go share their stuff, you don't comment on their stuff, knowing that if they're that serious with it, I don't know. It's weird. I know a lot of people that use social media for more than just networking. They use it to help their brand grow. I don't want to just say I'm using social media to help my brand grow. I want to utilize people. I want to help people to make my brand grow. Not because someone wore my
I wish this Unseen Twisted Truth was not a public.
like Nike. I don't want to be like Nike. I don't want people to know me because people wear my clothes or my shoes.
Right? No, yeah, no, fuck that. I want to give my shoes away. I don't want to dick around with likes and go ahead, SGF.
I said, gotta start somewhere.
Henry Shul just said
Everything don't happen like you plan it. Well, you just go forward. But if people grab on to the merchandise, then you go towards the merchandise knowing that they're going to circle back around and hear the information.
I ain't mad, but I just want to do different. I want to be in the streets to do it. Sitting on social media saying that I'm helping somebody is great, but really going out there and helping somebody is even better to me.
Harry Paquette. You know, I love that man. That's my boyfriend. He says I should just say it. He said I should just say it. Okay.
Just say it.
Fuck it. I'll say it. Nobody is ever going to get sober. Nobody's ever going to get happy. Nobody's ever going to climb the fucking way out of idiocracy unless we top all the drug companies, right? Unless we stop these wealthy people from screwing everybody over. Well, they worked hard for their money. I'm sure some of them did. I don't believe in I don't know where money corrupts you. If I had $1 million, I'd be giving it out. We're trying to start a business to help people. And I don't understand why Comfort, they got everybody relegated to your worth is only what's in your bank account. First of all, that's crazy if you're a sane individual. And it's obvious too. But nobody's going to fight changes when they're working 2 jobs. My brother's living out of a tent and he's working 2 jobs, you know, and they're screwing him over left and right for a bunch of weird shit that happened. This system's so disgusting that there should be throngs of people as pissed off as I am in the streets. You know, not many people have made sense into me in the last few years. Not many. I read into this little fucking thing that said some people, hypersanity and psychosis come off the same way to people. Hypersanity and psychosis. Like, I can't fathom how we're backpedaling into the dark ages with religion when we can reach out and touch the stars. You know, I'm not tolerant of a lot of that shit anymore. And I come off as mean. I can't talk to my friends and neighbors anymore. I can't avoid negativity when I open up social media to try and help people with drug and alcohol addictions, and I see my fucking government installing concentration camps with alligators around them. And then I can't stand to see how many people in the comments are happy to see and hear about whoever's going to these places getting eaten by alligators on their way out. That's not fucking humanity. Didn't we learn that in World War II? I can't idly sit by and watch this shit happen anymore. I don't watch the news. The people who tell me I'm watching the news have Fox News on 24/7. And I don't like MSNBC either. Fuck. Yeah, I'm disgusted with shit. I can't say anything we got to do on social media that involves putting cantaloupe-sized holes in things. But nobody's going for it. You're trying to keep your head above water. I chose freedom, and that was the hardest thing I ever chose. Trying to do everything this on my own. Rock bottom didn't hurt as much as trying to fucking fight through this world sober. I'm never swinging a hammer again unless it's helping somebody.
My
I don't know what else to say.
father.
I'm disgusted. I don't want to be. Go ahead.
My
Please.
father was born in 1954. That makes my father 70, going to be 71 in July. My father has dementia, not because of anything that he did himself. It is hereditary, but it was induced. His dementia has been induced because my father had a nervous breakdown. And instead of giving it a while and seeing what's going on, they put him on a bunch of psychiatric or psychotic medicine and all this other stuff that made the dementia hit. It made it. He was in a coma and everything. He had breakdown after breakdown, severe breakdown. And they said, if he has one more, I'll never have my dad again. My dad will not pass. My dad will still be here. His skin will, but his mind won't. And it's not because of something my dad did by choice. It's because of something that the doctors did to use him as guinea pig to find out what happened, what's going on with him. They look at people as a whole instead of individually talking to people. Back in the old days, they used to talk to people individually. Doctors would come to your house and talk to you individually and find out what's wrong and help you. Now it's a whole. And they have to get in and get out, and you only have a certain amount of time to be with your patients. And there's more paperwork than there anything, and there's a lot of red tape. You can't spend long in there to getting to know somebody, to find out what's wrong with them. So you have to treat them as a whole. And sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. So they gambled with my dad. And now I don't have my dad no more.
No.
My mom, even though my mom was married to my father, she still had to fight the courts to get it's like custody. Still had to fight the courts to have a say over my father. She had to get guardianship over my father to say whether or not he should be taking the pills that they put him on. Even though they weren't working. They were making my dad a vegetable. And she had to fight the doctors left and right and courts left and right to take him off this medication that was causing him to be worse.
And I wish they'd
Now,
put that same effort in helping.
yeah,
Sorry.
I still can talk to my dad, but it's
did.
not the same. And it gets worse and worse every year. It's not the same. And one day I never know when I'm never going to have my dad again.
I
But
like
he's
hearing
still-
him talk to you, though.
Yeah.
I like you. I even like listening to you guys pray. Sorry if I wasn't supposed to say that.
That's okay.
Apologize.
And that's the only time my dad's my
I mean,
dad.
That don't sound like a
I want to
gamble
keep
to
it
me.
up.
You said what?
No.
Yeah, that don't sound like a gamble to me, and it sounds like y'all might want to talk to somebody about that. That you know,
She
they
don't have money to do.
yeah, I wouldn't call that a gamble anymore. You giving them grace with that? That wasn't no gamble. They knew what they were doing.
They did know what they were doing. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where Hook for a Profit came in. They're getting more money to put these people on these pills. I'm also a pharmacy tech. I went to school for it. I did not do the state certification. I passed the college class, but I didn't do the state certification because I do not want to go and tell people why they can't get their pills because they're snorting their children's medication or selling them. I can't do that. I can't. When there's something natural that will help them, eliminate the red dye that will help them. Now I'm a homeopathic, I'm a herbalist. So now I've studied that instead, and I can do that. I'd rather do that. And because my mom can't afford anything, she can't do nothing about it. Because she had to pay for those doctor bills, even though she's on a, what is that called that they give those seniors, even though she gets it. My dad now finally gets it, like disability or whatever it's called. They still take from her.
SSI.
Yeah, and they still take from her if she brings in too much of anything.
They're screwing my dad right up the tailpipe. Same thing. Elders, I'm not getting old in this country, in this world. I don't want to be old. I'm terrified of that. Not being old. That's what they do to you. That's what they do to you. And you know, I'm keeping it on point. Hook for a Profit. I know more than a handful of schizophrenics who wander around in the streets getting into horrible trouble, who free associate their delusions on Facebook, who are suffering and pouring drugs and alcohol into themselves to make the voices stop. Why isn't there whole groups of people coming to help? How much money are we going to make on them? I recently learned that the age of cell phones and smartphones has allowed schizophrenics to actually film who they're talking to. And they know, and they can figure out if it's a hallucination or not. And that's awesome. I don't think that the doctors told them to do that, but that's some cool shit. Technology. We have what it takes to help people. We're figuring it out. So it bothers me so much. Sell a couple Ram's head missiles. I don't know. Here, they're pricey. Yeah, I don't see. I'll say how it is. We blow more body parts off of people all over the world than we do helping them, don't we? I need to grab a drink.
Have you seen anybody get addicted to something that they weren't meant to get addicted to, SJF Graham?
Nah. I was oblivious to a lot of stuff. I was the one when I grew up And I would be talking to people, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I was doing this since I was 13. You just had such harsh opinions. I hid it from you." Like, so I also realized, like, because of the way that my parents raised me, nobody wanted to show me certain lifestyles that they was in. Therefore, I was completely oblivious. You know, I might hear rumors around, but because they were my friends, I'd be like, "Oh, y'all tripping, man. I ain't never seen that." You know, like, and finally, when we in our 30s, they tell me, "Yeah, I've been doing this since a teenager." Or, you know, I'm like, "Oh, wow, okay." So once again, nah, I would hear stories, but I felt like everybody that I know that did stuff besides the one lawyer guy, or the one that was taking the bar, um, feel like everybody else, it was like intentional. Like, you don't accidentally buy a 20 just to not feel that for whatever reason you want to feel that, whether it's curiosity or what. You know, you intentionally bought it. Maybe you thought you could have controlled it, but you still intentionally bought it for that reason.
So as an addict, I wake up every day thinking of two things. One, my addiction, and two, ending my life. I haven't had a day where I didn't think of either or. And it's not because my life is so hard and my addiction wasn't drugs. I've never did nothing heavy my whole entire life. I didn't even know what they were, honestly. I didn't even know what pipes were for the longest time. The youth had to explain it to me. I had no clue. I didn't know what I know now because I surround myself around things and I learn things, but I didn't know what hard, soft, any of that was until I got older. I didn't even know what it looked like. Somebody had an ink pen and they were smoking something and I had no clue. No clue. I didn't know. I just knew it wasn't normal and right. I just didn't know what it was. And so once you fulfill this void that you feel like you have, and it gives you those endorphins that you've been longing for. I was kind of a good kid. I never got in trouble. I never stole. Never. I always went to school. I graduated. I went to college. I did all that. I did have my child young. It was the second person I ever messed around with, and I had my child. I did do that. Well, my parents weren't there though. They didn't really care about me. And they told my biological mom said I could do whatever I wanted. I could skip school if I wanted to do drugs or anything. I didn't, but she told me I could. She didn't care. She was a friend to us, not a parent. She never wanted to be a parent to me. My father was gone, had another family to raise, and owned a business. So he was gone a lot. He had girlfriends coming in and out, and my stepmother, but she had two little girls of her own. So I didn't really have anybody to care. And the people that did care about me passed away early. So I didn't have anybody to tell me I was precious, beautiful, sacred, any of that. So my addiction became sex. It was to fulfill the abandonment issues I had. Because as long as somebody needed me for sex, I felt wanted, I felt loved, accepted. Even if it was temporary and it was only lasting for a little bit, it fulfilled that void that I had of feeling like I mattered and I belonged. And I practiced celibacy for over a year, and it was the hardest thing ever. And I'm proud of myself for doing that. And I don't watch things like I used to, or even entertain the idea like I used to. Now I can go without it killing me. Just the thing is, it's constantly haunting me. It's constantly haunting me. I cannot go one day without thinking of it, even if I choose not to.
That's key. Addiction doesn't leave you. I'm never going to be recovered. If I die sober, I will. That's okay.
We
I'm
had
proud
a
of you,
normal,
Badger.
thank you. We had a normal life that I thought. I mean, it wasn't, but I didn't know then. We went to church all the time. We did all of that stuff. My family was such a huge family. And then all of a sudden, everything turned. When I turned a certain age, everything changed. My sister went and got married early. She emancipated herself and got married at 15 so that she could feel like she belonged. And now she's no longer my sister, neither, because she's addicted to narcotics that were prescribed from the doctor and her husband.
Not the first time I heard it.
So now she's a
Oh,
shell of a
Kimberly.
person.
By the way,
She's not fun no more.
no, it's not fun. Narcotics are vicious.
Peace and love, yeah.
You're. We love Finito
yeah.
Beans.
Yeah. Dope individual. That's my brother. I get reminded that I'm a culture difference. I didn't know I was, but I get reminded that I am. I get reminded that I'm a different sex and a different race. I get reminded things, not by choice, just because others think it's important to let me know. So they can make sense of their pain. That's what it is. Everybody's trying to make sense of their pain. I get it. Why people go back to. Go ahead.
And that's my case. And that's my case is that I think a lot of the pain is caused by what is considered trying to be normal. I don't think most humans are normal. I think we fought really hard to get to a point to where we are technologically and in terms of understanding. I think we fought really hard, and I see it getting squandered, and it hurts.
So I mean, I love the fact that SGF Graham was made fun of because his parents were together. It's weird to me. I mentioned that today. I was talking to Danny and I said, yeah, because Danny was mentioning that he got made fun of because his parents weren't. And I said, well, it's not going to matter. Kids are mean. I said, SGF Graham got made fun of because his parents were. And it's crazy. You're made fun of because your parents aren't. You're made fun of because your parents are. People are mean. People are mean. And it's taught. It's taught. Your kids don't just wake up hating and showing racism and ignorance. It's passed on. They're shown because that's the example you're leading.
Yeah. I think we've catered to bullying way too much. I think we catered to it. It's not supposed to be an inoculation. You're not supposed to get inoculated in grade school to deal with why can't we look, you can't get rid of assholes, but we can seriously discourage some of the behavior. I just think we can. I think it is a lot of traditions, standards, biases, bigotry, things put in place that cause people to be so callous and uncaring.
And I'm glad you mentioned bullying. I'm glad you mentioned bullying because a lot of people, that's how they start their first sip of alcohol or their first drag of cigarette or their first pill they popped is because they were being bullied, peer pressured, made fun of because they didn't do what everybody else did.
Yes. And drinking a bottle doesn't look the same as Russian roulette. right? Taking a hit of something doesn't look the same. But boy, it sure can lead to a very slow game of it for the rest of your life.
And I like the fact that his parents would dump out the bottle and fill it full of stuff and took it outside. But it's a shame they had to still do that without being looked at differently.
Yeah. No, that's cool as hell. I mean, I don't think we need to stipulate, like getting rid of alcohol, it's impossible. The oldest writings we have are Sumerian clay tablets with alcohol recipes on them. It's been around a while. We haven't really figured it out. But yeah, social drinking is cool. There's people who build whole careers but make wonderful wines and stuff. Why am I going to sit here because I'm an addict and shortchange wine? All that kind of culture. It's not that. I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. We forgot the second part. And you're going to want to drink a Coors Light when you watch a commercial and there's all these hot girls in bikinis drinking Coors Light on a water slide, right? I mean, like, as a young man, I was very impressionable towards that. You get the Coors, you get the girls. It was delusional thinking. But
as I got older,
I'm gay.
I come to the point where I no longer want to be around people that drink. I don't care if it's 1 beer, 2 beer, casual. I choose not to. I want to be around people that have control of themselves 24/7. Yeah, I do. I don't care. Even if it's mentally. I want to be around people that have control over themselves 24/7. I do.
Yeah, I cut a friend off recently for that reason.
Huh?
I cut a friend off recently for that reason. He called me up and he's drunk as a skunk for the 9,000th time, talking about, what would you do if I did this and I did some active violence? And I'm like, bro, look, I can't deal with it anymore. I don't want to hear violence. I'm a violent person. I'm trying to leave that shit behind me. I don't want to listen to you wasted anymore. I get you, Kimberly. You can't deal with it anymore. Harry drinks around me, but he can have like a half a beer or a beer or two, and shit don't bother me at all. It's kind of mesmerizing to me.
Yeah, my son doesn't pass 1 beer, so it's not. I don't mind somebody having 1 beer. That's not it. I don't want. It's not fun to watch somebody drink. Ask Jack Graham, how do you feel
about what?
Can you hang around people that have been drinking? Does it bother you?
Nah, I can't be around it. Just different energy or whatever. I can't really be around it. I don't know which one I'm about to get or whatever. And then, like I said, other people, when they recognize I don't get like that, they make me their responsibility. And I'm completely done with that. Like, before I even go anywhere, I get a rundown of who's gonna be there. More than likely, they said 2 or 3 people I don't want to deal with, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll see y'all later," and never come.
True that.
Oof. I remember being a crappy parent when my son was younger, because I was a mom almost, it seemed like my whole entire life, that I didn't have a moment for me. And when my son was a certain age, I dated somebody who was an alcoholic, and I have a very competitive spirit. I just do. And I was the type, they thought they could outdrink me, and I was like, oh, just because I'm a girl, I ain't gonna tolerate that stuff. Let's just see, And I didn't really love myself. I didn't value my worth because I didn't know it. So I became my son's responsibility. My son has seen me naked and took care of me and showered me way more than he probably ever should have had to. I can't undo it. I don't regret it. I'm grateful I'm no longer like that. I'm not proud of it though. I think my son, the first time he should have seen me naked is when he had to care for me as an elder, not because I was wasted. He had to drive me home. He's 12, 13. He shouldn't be driving me anywhere.
I had to drag my mom back in the house a couple times so she was naked, trying to leave. Exciting. It's good for a young brain.
Not really. He's so mad about that. He's got a lot of healing that has to do with his childhood. And I wish my parents only taught me what to do. Instead, they taught me what not to do. And I did exactly a lot of things that I shouldn't have had. At least I taught him what not to do. And now he doesn't. So his kids will never see him like that. Because I taught him what not to do.
If only we knew.
I don't think I would have
If only we
changed
knew.
nothing. I don't think I would have changed nothing. I love, first time my whole entire life, I will tell you, I love everything about me. I love everything about me. I don't shave my legs no more. It's hairy. They're hairy. I don't even care. And I think I'm a sexy beast. So, I mean, I love everything about me. But I had to
Badgers
learn
naturally
it.
have hair.
Good, because I don't care. I had to learn it. I had to learn who I was. I had to really stop looking at myself through my eyes and what I thought I was, and start realizing who I am without all of this. I am the most covered
I heard you.
I'm the most covered person for being an addict. I have a whole bunch of clothes on at all times because I don't like the attention that comes with me not having clothes on.
Yeah, I'm freaking proud of the way you carry yourself with it. So you do good, Badger.
Thank you.
I heard you earlier, by the way.
For
I
what?
heard you because I was here. Couldn't jump back on right away.
Oh,
I'm a very happy person. I'm a very happy person. People ask how I'm doing, and I don't really quite know how to answer them. I've relegated it to I'm great. I love when I look in the mirror. I'm very happy and proud of myself. I feel very accomplished. I'm rich, actually. But I am also wake up every morning and my first thought is getting the fuck out of this world by any means necessary. And I got to talk myself out of it. I have those thoughts and I try to avoid people who are talking to me because I'm trying to grapple with reality that I've woken up on earth again. I'm not comfortable here. I'm not.
that.
I'm happy. I couldn't be happier. Music, love, life, sex, all that shit's great, man. I fucking love it. I have more than I wanted when I was younger. But I am here. And people keep telling me, well, you just got to play the game. What if you can't play the game anymore?
What if you don't want?
What if I'm tired of the game? What's the alternative? I don't fuck about your money.
SGF Graham,
What's the alternative?
what's the alternative, SGF Graham?
Get away and love yourself only. Selfish
why I
as it may sound, and selfish as it may sound, like it really creates a healthy boundary. Whatever, and even still, then it gets time where I get so exhausted. Like I know I need to finish these pretty dope songs that I got, but I'm exhausted or whatever. So I know for not to your level, but my level is my level, and I'm to the point to where I'ma just have to take probably the rest of the week break from a lot of stuff, so I can just even if I don't focus on doing no work, just relaxing, whatever, you know. So, like, I, I promise you, bro, whatever, you're gonna have to do the thing you don't want to do and be selfish and help yourself. You can't help nobody until you help yourself. You're always gonna be depleted. Whatever, no matter if that moment you feel like you made a choice, you made a certain like a good decision or whatnot, you personally gonna feel like, hey, I'm always on the short end of the stick of this or whatever. I'm always giving, throwing out energy, throwing out this to try to recreate this situation or save somebody or whatever. And I mean, I don't know if you at least get a thank you back or whatever, you know, but you know, all you getting is like self gratitude, but that is not healing. Where it's just charging up your ego, which is making you feel like you're doing something positive, which you're doing something positive for everybody else or whatever. But even in all spirituality and religion, one thing they all believed in was, you know, sit and be still. You know, you got to get away from stuff, even if it's a hiking trip somewhere. You go get a cabin and just chill with you and your guitar and no Wi-Fi, since that's how you like it or whatever. Them 2 or 3 days, you'll come back like, if you want to, okay, I can deal with some more bullshit. Or you might go up there and be like, you know what? I don't want to deal with the bullshit. This has been the best 3 days of my life.
I'm a large frequenter of state land, SGF, let me tell you. And one of the few things that ever made sense to me was watching that sun come up in the woods. I get that, you know, when I come back, I feel very supercharged, but that has dwindled and lessened over the years, and more of what I come back to. It's sure you can get ahead, but I mean, cereal's $6 to $8 a box now. I don't know
What
to
is
fight
that?
for it. May I get a garden? I will read Finito Beats. I need to find the communes, the gardens, the places where people get away, wherever they are. Finito Beats. I'm taking a break myself, for real, for real. The storm is to be weathered, but not with resistance, but more acceptance. Not acceptance of feeling defeated, but more recognition of understanding life isn't always about just survival, but more growth and understanding. Absolutely. Well,
I completely agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
I want to find a place to go.
I love helping, but like as Jeff Graham said, you can't help nobody on an empty cup. You can't fill somebody else's cup when yours is depleted. So I take moments where I don't pick up my phone and I don't go on social media and I don't share people's stuff unless I'm asked to, and it's crazy that I'm asked to, but I am. So that's when I do. And there's times where I just don't want to. I don't want to I don't want to feel that love for somebody else that I can't feel for myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Having healthy boundaries. I love people that have them. If you don't, I can't love you because you don't love you. Moon Tortoise is my best friend. Huh?
That's the same thing I say. Like, you know, when people, oh, but I thought you said you love that person. Yeah, I love myself more though. I found myself getting angry over stuff when I sat back. When I sat down, I don't even know why I'm angry. I'm like, oh, I need to step back. Whatever, you know, I done heard their issues for so long. I have absorbed their energy, and now I'm starting to act as if I'm going through what they're going through, and I don't even know why I'm upset for a while until I realize, like, oh yeah, it's time to step back. I was in a good mood before I let you sit here for a whole hour and tell me about what's going on in your life, and I see how upset you are. I naturally gravitate, especially being an empath or whatever. I can't do nothing about it. I have to have a boundary line being an empath. or whatever. I'll be feeling everybody issues that say something to me and can't control my feelings because they're not mine.
What did he say? What's he saying, Moon Tortoise?
So Bonito Beach, actually, I had to interject before I said it because I had a couple things to follow up on. And one of those is I actually got paid recently for a couple of these jobs, and that's good. You know, I fought my way to get to that position, so I'm fighting harder for the things I want. And I think that's damn important. Having that little recognition and that happened for me, it was wonderful. And it's not only the gratification. The problem is that it's not more commonplace. But we're working on it. We got Finito Beach. My question is, are we filling the cup when we help, or is the person we're helping filling the cup with the pitcher we provided by helping? I find that happens a lot.
Do you want to tackle that? Anybody answer? I know it's not a question to have an answer. It's a question for a statement, but I prefer to have an outlook on that.
I mean, I could, but I want to give someone else a chance.
It depends on do they have the top on or not. Whatever, if they, you know, it's been plenty of times I've attempted to pour in the cup and they won't take that top off or whatever, and I gotta realize I'm wasting water or whatever. I gotta stop trying.
I like that. Moon Tortoise, your turn.
I like the top thing. I do. So we're helping filling the cup. When we're filling the cup, when we help, or is the person helping filling the cup? It's a little of both sometimes. That's where boundaries come in. I think I've noticed over the last few years that people are so disestablished and dehumanized that when you get on the phone with them, they will talk forever. It's not you guys here. It's a lot of people in my life. Get this desperation about them to try and tell me everything. It's like, how closed off are we? I don't remember it being that wild and shit. Like 5-minute conversation. It's almost like everybody's so frantic and jarred and pressed for time. You know, everyone's terrified of the clocks. Everyone lives by the clock, right? That's what's owning everybody. So I imagine when you even engage with someone now, we got two pitchers emptying into each other back and forth. Yeah, it's hard, and people will take from you, especially when they will try and drink more when they're down and out. And I believe that everybody is societally kind of down and out. I don't know, unless you're selling big drugs, big money.
I was gonna say
kind of a vicious cycle.
I was gonna say in that Moon Tortoise is my best friend, and Moon Tortoise and I have not been around each other for almost a month now. And when I do speak to Moon Tortoise, we do not speak on the phone for more than 10 minutes. We don't. And we don't.
No, we do, but we try.
How often do we do it more than 10 minutes?
I think we average around 15 to 19 minutes.
Okay.
But that's because I'm staring at clocks so heavily because I too am running out of time every day. But we acknowledge it, Badger.
I don't really keep you on to drain your time. We say what we have to say and the conversation really ends. And if it's a little bit longer, it's only because we miss each other's voice. It's not really the fact of that we're taking a long time to get our point out. We talk about our point, we say our point, and we end our point. And there's a lot of people that rather just hear themselves speak.
I mean, as long as I take it as a professional conversation too, I feel like other people take away from me. I would like to talk. I do like talking to you for long periods of time because I don't care if I make a red cent from the damn podcast. I treat it like a business because I've met a lot of people through the podcast who have come into my inboxes and just checked in with me and did sobriety stuff, and it's been wonderful. And so I take this very seriously. And that's stuff I try to make time for. Really. And there's so many more people I could be messaging on it, but by the time I get off the phone, I'm talking to somebody else. And it's not clients of mine. It's not that. It's just friends, acquaintances, people in society. It's like no one's listening to them at all. No one's listening to each other. So when I actually listen to somebody, I go, hey, what's going on? For real. Drama dump. Drama dump everything. You know, I was raised, I don't know, I grew up, I was a people pleaser. It's something I've been trying to get rid of, but old habits die hard. I think Finito says, I think we do fill it, but they pour it out. Yeah. That's Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy. Face reveal. It was dark. We couldn't see it. I know what he looks like, though.
I say you ain't see nothing.
You got to be able to do it before. No.
You said what?
You were a silhouette.
He was a silhouette.
That was a silhouette.
I usually let DDH come on and before to say what he had to say on the subject and the topic. I don't know what happened. I think the signal's bad everywhere for everyone. Gilly's tried a couple times. Oh yeah, he's out.
Yeah, I know it's been rough.
So
I like what Finito.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I like what Finito Beach said about pouring it out. You know, I guess I wanted to say the last thing on that is that I actually don't get drained talking drug and alcohol addiction with people. That actually is great. That's what I would like to be doing. It's things outside of that. And I honestly, if someone's calling me or texting me on the phone and I'm not looking in their eyes or I can't touch their hand or feel their skin or whatever, I don't know if I'm autistic or not, or I have weird spectrum disorder problems outside of that. But people on the phone aren't real to me anymore. I mean, like, I miss landlines. I miss meeting people up in the park. I miss all that stuff. And I got stuck in the phone generation, I guess. I don't know. It's not been easy for me to cope with. So I'll leave it at that.
So let's just wrap this up with the positive quote messages.
Yes.
So SGF Graham, we're gonna wrap this up. What's your positive message?
First I like to say to what Henry was talking about, I like to be completely away from people because my not speaking too much into my guilt, but it could be invictive. And I hear what everybody says, whether I want to or not. So I'm the person that every time I can get away, I'm gonna take it. Just because I need that headspace. Like sometimes it gets so bad that I'm fighting to think for myself or whatever. I'm just hearing everybody around me, and people could tell. Like they'll be like, they'll almost look at me like, "Did I say that out loud?" Or whatever. And I'll be like, and plenty of times I hear people like they don't even know. Like I'll be talking, and then they'll think something, and I just stop talking. I'll be like, never mind. I forgot what I thought. What I was saying, ADHD or whatever. And they'll look at me, and I'll be like, yeah. That's just my gift or whatever. So I need my silence.
I get that.
So what's your positive message?
Not good.
Positive message. I really don't have one except run away. You gotta get away, get your you time. You are more important than the people you helping, because if you're not well, then you can't help them. So always remember that to you should always be more important than the people you help, so you can continue to help if that's what you want to do.
You have a song called You Only.
Yeah,
That's a good.
I'm
People need-
a big advocate for it.
People need to go search for it. It's out on
It's not
YouTube.
out yet. Well, the video is out, but the single isn't out on any any platforms yet. But the video is out.
So go check that video
It's a
out.
good
on
message.
YouTube. It is. It's a great message.
Thank you.
All right.
We're gonna check it out.
And thank you for being you and having healthy boundaries. I value you, and we need you in this universe.
I appreciate. And the feeling is mutual.
Yeah, thank you. Moon Tortoise, positive message.
Positive message. We got the sun side. The sun is going down to my right. It's really great. First, you want me to read Finito's? I'm gonna read Finito's
Sure.
first because I like Finito. Positive message. Remember, it's okay to set boundaries. Just remember that there may be boundaries set for you. Some people will make the number one choice not to respect those boundaries you set. You will never be wrong for protecting your peace and mental space. Never trap yourself. Finito.
Agreed.
And I really thank you. My positive message is it's for the addicts and the alcoholics, because I'm not going to stop that. I could go and just say that even though I don't believe in it, I would go tell people God bestowed this upon me, and to go against God's word is blasphemy. It was beautiful. But your families miss you. Your friends miss you. Don't do everything you can to try and shake yourself out of the delusion. It's going to trick you at every corner. It's going to really screw you up. And what you have to understand is that the substances don't love you. They don't want you to love yourself. You're tricked. Your families do. And if you don't have a family to love you, I mean, I will. If you just DM me and text me that I'm sober, I got sober or something, that is no skin off my neck. You know what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, that's just like a little happy pill I get throughout the day. So if you got nobody else out there, I will fucking pat you on the back and I will say, man, whatever. Great job. Great job. You keep going like that, and one day you can maybe pass that information on to somebody else. But that's what I'm going to say as a positive message. And I love you.
I remember when I went back and got my high school diploma. I did it when my son was a little older because I had to drop out. I didn't have to. I did it because I too was a people pleaser. And my son's father said if I continued going, then he'd make sure that I'd be unalive. So I dropped out. I went back when my son was a couple years old and I had someone watch him and I could go. I went and got my high school diploma. Nobody watched me walk down that stage. And I didn't care because I wasn't doing it for anybody. You have to find that self-gratification of self, knowing that you did not let you down and that you got your back. It's important. It's important. If you don't know how beautiful you are, you need somebody else to tell you. We'll tell you. But that's a temporary fill. Find it out on your own because you matter. Thank you for allowing us into your home, your heart, your ears, and your time. May your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations, peace and love yourself, even if nobody else sees it. Peace and love, everyone.
I suck at the hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people. Rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. Where them tries to kill you. But with faith you recover. Yeah. Peel off the makeup. We finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. That's Hugo's regardless. decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's a scene, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Like that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen, hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental, how clean is a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Steering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt or disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation, rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.